Now we are. Let's see. Oh my god, now that I'm live, like,
Yeah.
it's kind of quiet now that I'm live. Huh. Should be fine now. I just adjusted it. Should be fine, but yeah,
Yeah, you're all right.
we should be fine. I
Okay.
hope. But
I'll hop into the.
yeah, we,
All
we're
right.
we're still gonna need to test it. But yeah. Anyway,
And we're doing r/am I the asshole.
yay, the greatest non-Reddit around.
It's pretty. I mean, it's a pretty solid subreddit. I mean, especially because it's half of it is people who know they're the asshole and like are clearly switching their story to make it seem like they're not the asshole. But at that point, why are they even posting?
Mhm.
And half of it is people who are like so obviously in the right that they're being like made feel bad by their family or something.
At the same time, though, like this is Reddit, so the bar of a good subreddit isn't very high.
Yeah, the volume sounds good.
Okay, that's good. So, are we going to start with hot posts, new posts, or the top posts?
I say let's go top post past week.
Top
Actually, let's
post
do past month. It's been a while since we've done this, so we might as well pick up some.
last year.
Yeah, we've done this within the last year.
Jumping out of the way when my niece and nephew tried to push me into a pool. That sounds. Don't describe the
If your
entire
niece tries to
story.
push you in a pool, you take it and you throw them in yourself.
Yeah, but also don't tell the entire story in your like title.
Yeah. Oh yeah, is it a long title?
Yes, it is. Just the entire thing is like it's just all there in the title. And then you just see like the three paragraphs below it of probably useless story because
Either the story's totally useless and the title tells it all, or you like find like tiny details in the story that you're like, I feel like they might be switching up their story a little bit at the end
how
there.
about this one? I like the second one from 7 days ago. Am I the asshole for ditching my girlfriend at a 5K because I wanted a better time?
Yeah, you're the asshole.
So let's read this one.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. My girlfriend, 31 female, and I, 36 male, have been together for about 2 years now. We live together. Congratulations. You've moved in.
Live together before we get married.
Yeah. About 9 months ago, I picked up running as a hobby and have since grown quite fond of it. It's a good hobby. I recommend everyone tries out running a little bit, although most people can't seem to do it. I currently run an average of 25 miles a week. That's pretty fair. Okay. A few months ago, I decided I wanted to try 5K or 10K. And after some Google research, found a 5K in my city that looked fun. I registered for it, paid the fee, decided to start training specifically for it. Training specifically for a 5K, though. That's like just practicing running because the 5K is not that long. I mentioned it in passing to my girlfriend that night. She asked if she could come too. I was psyched about the
You,
idea
oh,
of running a 5K with her and said yes, but warned her that she'd probably want to start training because I was going for a sub 27-minute time, which might be tough for a complete beginner.
yeah.
Okay,
Whoever's the slower one, you keep up with them.
no, hold on. I warned her that she should probably want to start training because a sub 27-minute time, which might be tough for a complete beginner. Okay,
How many
for
kilometers is a how many miles is
it's
5K?
3.2. It is
3.2
3.2.
miles.
An average
Yeah.
untrained person can like an untrained like average Joe can complete a 5K in about 30 minutes.
Okay, so but if they, I mean, so his goal is sub 27.
Yeah.
So that you're right, because you're right. If you do 10 minutes a mile, which if you're, I mean, I can do one 10-minute mile. I can't do three 10-minute miles in a row, but
A 10-minute mile is like
it's not crazy.
yeah, that's like
A 9-minute mile, which is what he's going for,
that's like a casual jog. A 10-minute mile is like a casual jog.
yeah. I mean, again, depending on where, like, we're in like the mountains. I'm
Yeah.
guessing the 5K is probably on flatter ground.
Maybe, yeah. Like to kind of put this in perspective, like in high school, like junior varsity high school teams, when we were running cross country, we ran 5Ks for our regular races. And
Oh
like
yeah.
the average times were like 20 minutes for those. Like some of the varsity runners too even got as low as 16. So like 27 minutes is like that is still like a not very trained or in shape time to be running a 5K.
Yeah, well, that's pretty. It is pretty funny. You said it was 3.5 miles or 3 miles?
3.2.
3.2. Yeah, that 27 minutes. I mean, I probably couldn't do it, to be fair, but I also haven't ran since 2007.
Yeah,
And I was,
if you put in like a month of training before it, you probably could hit 27.
oh yeah, when I was back when I was hitting the gym regularly, I probably did 7-minute miles before and after every workout. So
Like my personal best was a 1938. So,
yeah,
okay.
19 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a 5K. I mean, and you're doing three miles in a
That
row. That's
yeah,
pretty. That's really good.
that's like maintaining a like a 6.5 minute mile, basically.
Yeah.
Um, she said she would like to train with me, which again sounded fun. The next morning, I woke up at 5 a.m. for my run. I usually do, but my girlfriend was not up for it and told me she'd go later. This continued for a week and then 2 weeks. I finally managed to get her up for once for a run. She was miserable the entire time, and I basically didn't get any exercise. Last Friday, the day before the race, I asked if she was really up for it. She insisted she was. She then told me she was just going to skip gallop it, like she used to do with her mile runs at middle school. I asked her to demonstrate what a skip gallop was, and she showed me this bizarre sidestepping gallop, as if she had casts on her legs. I told her it seemed like a really inefficient way to run, but she insisted it worked for her. If you have the energy to like side run, skip gallop by the sound of it, for
But you know
three
what's weird is
miles,
that
you could probably
skip
jog.
skip galloping. I always I feel like that takes less energy than jogging.
I really don't think so.
Yeah, but I feel like, okay. Remember, so in gym class in high school, they always used to make up, like, right at the beginning of class. They're like, okay, line up. You're gonna do some stretches, and one of them was skip galloping.
Mhm.
But like, and like one of them was just, run straight down and back. And I feel like skip gallop. I think it was slower, but I feel like you conserve a lot of energy doing that.
No, you don't, because you're skipping upwards. And the purpose
No,
about running in a race is to conserve optimum energy, is to have as little bounce to your stride as possible.
no. I think you're staying closer to the ground when you're skip galloping, when you're doing that side shuffle.
Hmm.
Me and you might be picturing different things.
Yeah. Okay.
Because we're both imagining her facing sideways, but I'm imagining her just more like a horse's run, where
Crab
you,
walking.
you yeah, more like crab walking, but fast.
I guess. Saturday was the day of the race, and right out of the gate, she utilized her skip gallop strategy. 2 minutes in, I realized she was already gassed. She started asking me to wait so we could walk together. I apologized, told her I loved her, and left her behind to finish the race. I ended up with a time of 26:43, beating my goal. Great job, dude. Good for you.
But also, don't leave your.
No, 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 no. It's a race. Like, and he's going for a goal. Like, he shouldn't have to.
No,
He's at
no,
a
no.
5K race.
This is something they agreed to. He said, "I want a fun thing to do for us to do together. Let's do a 5K."
Yeah. Yeah, and she wanted him to walk with her.
Yeah, I mean, but that's girl. But here's the thing: when you're in a relationship, you need to communicate. And I'll run a 5K with you as girlfriend talk for let's go on a walk.
Okay. But you can't just assume that. I don't think that he is in the right to have assumed that when she is signed, like said that she would come to a 5K, paid the fee, signed up for it, that she was going to like at least try to finish the race.
I think they could have communicated better, and I think the issue is because of their miscommunication, they didn't really understand what they wanted from each other. But in that scenario, if you don't understand what you want from the other person, you have to stick with your partner. You can't ditch them.
I don't that's tough for me because it was always the mentality of in racing for me. If your pacing buddy is actively holding you back, then you ditch them and you set the pace for them to try to keep up with.
Let me ask you a question, Jay. How many of your pacing buddies were you having sex with?
None.
Okay. Well, moot point then.
After the race, I tried to call her, but she wouldn't pick up. When I made my way back to the car, I realized she had left me. I took an Uber home, and right when I walked in the door, I was met with crying, shrieking about how I ditched her. Tried to calm her down and explain that she kind of brought it on herself, but she was not interested whatsoever. Yesterday, she gave me the sounds treatment all day. Do I deserve what I'm getting? No, I don't think so.
I don't think he's like a bad guy. I think that was stupid.
Terraces, NTA. She chose to invite herself. She chose not to prepare. She chose to make a fool of herself with her crazy training method of quote unquote running. This is all on your girlfriend. I'm glad you had your phone and your wallet and you were able to get home after she abandoned you. I'm proud that he fucking set a time at 26:43, breaking his goal. Breaking goals, it's setting like standards and like, pushing yourself to improve and do better. That's really good. He should be excited for that.
Yeah, like if he was racing alone, I think he doesn't do a good. I think he's framing this in his writings like I was very clear with her. She wanted to tag along, and then she fell behind. I
Mhm.
don't think that's what happened. I think she said I might want to join you, and he was like, "Oh my God, yes, let's train together, let's do all this." And then he hyped her up, and when the day came, she wasn't able to keep up with him, and he was like, "Okay, fuck you then." I don't trust anybody who posts on this subreddit.
If she didn't, that what if that was the case, then fair. But like, if she didn't, um, train and like she can't compete in the race, like there's no reason in waiting up for her. Like this is a competitive event.
Yeah, okay, but his miscommunication with her is
You're
I like
assuming the miscommunication.
there was definitely a miscommunication because you need to let someone know like what you're expecting of them.
Okay. I guess yeah, on her side there was definitely miscommunication.
Even if it well here's the thing, even if someone's not understanding you, it's not your job to just repeat exactly what you said and be like, well, they're stupid if they don't understand me. It's your job to be like, how to, nobody is a mind reader. So
Yeah.
if someone's not understanding what you're saying, you have to be like, okay, let me take a step back. What are they thinking I'm saying? And
No,
you have to be
because
like,
if you don't
and then,
understand, it's on the person who's not understanding to be vocal about that.
but she doesn't know she's not understanding. She's like, she's so nonchalant in like every step of this thing. Shown, she's like, oh yeah, I'll just side gallop. And he's like, that maybe it might be a bad idea. But what he should have been like is, no, this is a real thing. We're running together. Like
Okay.
he's afraid to step on her toes all the way up to the point where they're actually in the race, and at that point he's abandoning her. He's being non-confrontational is what's happening.
Oh, I can agree that he wasn't. He was definitely not being non-confrontational. I can definitely agree with that.
Yeah, the Doomer stream's pretty good. You should watch that. By the way, Jab's in the chat. Hey, Jab. Yeah, I think you should have definitely been on that because there were some. I think I should have definitely got you on that because there were definitely some points where I was like, like one of the things was, does genre matter when you're like critiquing things? And I was like, ooh, me and Jay have talked so much about like critiquing things for what they're trying to be rather than like compared to like the whole, you know, subject,
Mhm.
the whole like array of what is
Genre
out there.
genre is a creative choice, but you can absolutely judge it by how creative or how they use that choice to like as a strength in this
Yeah, yeah,
creation.
well, right. You need to if we talked about this with a silent voice. Like,
Yeah.
how did they use their choice to make it an anime to their advantage? And one of the ways was the X's over the eyes. We were or the faces. We were like,
Yep.
that works in the art style, and it's a good choice. And then so like obviously you're not gonna be like this action movie wasn't scary at all. But if you're watching a horror movie and it wasn't scary, you're gonna be like,
Mhm.
that's a problem.
Yeah.
And I think you would have been. Jab, next time that happens, hit me up. We'll get Jay on the stream.
So,
Doomer
you
needs
want
to be put in his place.
you want to pick a
The next one down looks like equally as bizarre, or even more bizarre. I don't understand what a
the
meal
meal
train is.
train? Oh yeah.
Yeah. It starts off by saying, "I do not give permission for this post to be shared outside of Reddit." Uh, Screw this guy. We're gonna read it anyway.
Yeah. Fuck you. We're reading it.
So some ladies in our church occasionally send out invites for meal trains. What is a meal train? Do you know?
I think they just kind of set up a bunch of meal plates and people can come by and grab and eat from them. Kind of like a potluck dinner for a church.
For people to sign up to bring meals for someone who has recently had a baby or sick or something like that. More like a food drive, but like for like local specific people. You know?
Yeah. But the whole point is to cook them as much food as they cannot eat.
Or like whenever the wife dies, the widower always gets like a bunch of frozen dinners from everybody around. I get it. It's a nice thing to help people out. I have no problem to participate sometimes in the past. Last week, a meal train was supposed to be posted for a lady named Sue, who apparently had spent a few days in the hospital due to her severe back pain. She's home now and still in pain and unable to do much. A meal sign-up stated about bringing up to meal for 3 people. Sue lives with her husband and adult son. The husband and son work full time. Sue does not. Sue does not work. I decided not to sign up for this meal train because I also work full time. I figure if people want to, that's fine. But I don't have extra time to be cooking meals for people who have capable adults in the household to help. Some people do have extra time, and that's great. And if they want to help out, well, I'm guessing others felt it was this way too because the meal train just wasn't filling up very fast, so they kept posting about it. I kept ignoring it. Last night, I got a call from a friend of Sue's. We call her Jane. Jane asked if I was aware that Sue had been in a hospital and if I could possibly sign up for a meal slot. I explained very nicely to Jane that I worked full time and I do not often have time to make a meal, and that my husband and I usually just get our own meals or one of us cooks well when we're alone. She was like, "Oh, well, that's okay. There are plenty of weekend slots available you could sign up for when you're not working." I said, "Well, aren't her husband and son at home on the weekends? Couldn't they cook then?" Jane got really snippy with me then and cut the conversation short. I told my husband about it, and he thinks that I could just have made time on the weekends to cook or something and take it over just to be nice. I asked him why didn't he sign up for it. He he thought the needed meals on the week if he thought the needed meals on the weekend, and he told me if he thought I'm guessing that's supposed to be they needed meals on the weekend, and he told me he was just trying to I was just trying to start an argument. Well, you definitely were.
Yeah.
Also the husband just being a dick. I don't think I'm the a hole because Sue's husband and grown son. Yeah, she's right though. I mean, this was pretty hands down, right? Do you think?
Yeah.
I think your audio is fine right now. I mean, she's got like that. First of all, that's a really nice thing that their community does all the time. If it
Yeah.
sounds like they're doing it.
It's really nice.
But there are some limits, and the limit has to be: listen, your son should get off his ass and go cook something for you. Like, there has to be something.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's probably
just asking that of someone is kind of ridiculous.
yeah.
Like it's so entitled. Like expecting someone to do nice things for you or to go out of their way for you. Echo.
Yeah, it's so. I think you're totally right. It's like nice things happen because they're nice, not because you should expect them. I mean, come on. Well, and then also like she's like she gets so snippy. She's like, assuming that the wife or this lady really is being like really polite over the phone. She's like, oh well, she's got a. I just figured that since she has a husband and an adult son, they were doing things on the weekend. And the lady over the phone was like, ugh, ugh, you're not giving me free shit.
I'm tired of people not giving me free stuff and going out of their way to accommodate my neediness.
You know what I see? I'm pretty tired of people not giving me free stuff too.
And
Although it's totally possible that her husband's like a construction worker and her son is like 19.
I had to pay for my last compliment.
Did you?
No.
I have to pay for compliments. I don't pay for compliments, but I pay for people to insult themselves on the Sitch and Adam show. So that happens. $2. Sitch is an asshole. Beep.
You pay streamers to read your stuff?
Listen, I have to. I'm not gonna start this war like for free.
Dude, at that point, OnlyFans is a better use of your money.
It's a lot. Well, I guess the cheapest OnlyFans is a lot cheaper, but the cheapest OnlyFans also sucks.
So?
Like,
you're getting more content than Sitch and Adam taking 5 seconds to misread your super chat.
Okay, first of all, Sitch is the one doing the misreading. Me and Andrew had a long conversation. Sitch, like, he doesn't understand what punctuation is. He just thinks commas are smudges on a screen.
If you truly wanted to support them, you would donate via Patreon or there's like a description link that they have posted.
No, I don't want to support them. I want them to read what I have to say.
Why the fuck are my neighbors smoking pot again?
Oh my!
Okay.
Isn't that so annoying? Isn't that like come on, like at least have a well ventilated basement.
Okay.
Make your living situations match your hobby.
Okay, let's look for the next one. Am I the asshole for refusing to host a birthday party because my nephew isn't allowed in my house?
Oh, that's interesting. Let's find out why the nephew isn't allowed in the house.
Okay.
Oh, this one looks short. Oh, no.
It's a really long one.
Okay, yada yada yada. She lives in a property. My nephew's 16.
I'm about to read it.
Okay.
I, 24, female, live in a 4-acre property that I bought for cheap from my grandma, who moved to a retirement community. My nephew is turning 16 at the end of the month. My sister asked if we could host his party here on the family property, meaning my house. I told her no because my nephew is not allowed at my house. My nephew does not respect boundaries and treats everything like his place, including the boundaries of my older black lab, Davis. He constantly chases him around and tries to pick him up despite me telling him constantly to leave him alone. Davis has arthritis and can't be chased around and hates loud noises, which my nephew is very loud. He's 16 years old and he's like this. As far as I know, he is neurotypical. My sister blew up at me for telling me I was putting a dog before my nephew, and it was my grandma's property that I can't dictate. I was told it was my property. I bought it, intended it, and paid all the bills for it. My
Yeah,
mom
but
called.
okay. But when she said she bought it for cheap, I'm guessing that means way below market price. In which case, it is kind of the family.
Yeah,
Like the grandmother selling it to you would be like you're the warden of the family property now. I think I hate that when you're like, uh, this is my like if I me and my dad split the price of a truck, but if like I'm like if I bought it for him like for way cheaper than it's actually worth, like his half of it, and he was like, "Can I borrow it?" and I was like, "Ugh, it's my truck." I'd be
oh, but he didn't. The sister didn't pay half.
well, no, but the issue is I'm whenever like there's something like family like that, I'm guessing the grandmother was like, "Listen, sweetheart, like family property like that when it's passed down for cheap is generally expected unless they have a different agreement to be like whoever you're passing it down to is just the caretaker, but this is generally seen as the family property.
Where are you getting that from?
That's like so normal social convention. Well, oh, it's different if it's a house, if it's like a single family house or like a giant farm, you know. And she's got 4 acres.
Okay.
Oh well, okay. Also, chasing a dog around is a dog. That's what they're meant to be. He's playing with your dog, and you're like,
Dogs are part of the family. They should be treated kindly too.
yeah, but okay.
Like if he's playing with the dog, maybe that's fine. But if by the sound of it, how she phrased it, if he's
Okay,
terrorizing it, then that is not okay. Especially at the age of 16. Like, come on.
yeah, okay. Also, how long has it been since her nephew was allowed it? Has it been 8 years?
I don't know.
All right, fair
It
enough.
didn't say. But my sister blew up at me for telling me. Okay. My mom called me and asked if I could just put Davis in a room during the party and suck it up for a day. But I said no. This is my house, and he's allowed to go wherever he wants, and I won't shut him in a room. Now my family is divided. Some of them are calling me immature and selfish, and others saying I'm right. Well, some, including my father, refuse to get involved. He's the smart one. um, why can't they just host the party at like their own place?
My nana and I have always had a very close relationship. I've helped her tend the property for as long as I can remember. So she offered to sell it to me when I grew up. When she grew too old to tend to it herself. So no, other family's members weren't given the opportunity to buy the house. They also weren't interested in it. It's very old and outdated. My sister especially always talked about how much she hated the aesthetic of the house. The sole reason she wants to host the party is because it has the most space. Well, yeah, it's not sentimental space to her.
Hmm. Someone identified me, so I'm fortunate to take down the dog tax. Thank you, all kind people of Reddit. The dog tax. Oh, and it because I got a code question this time. Okay.
I, hmm, on the one, I'm getting a little hint of narrator unreliability on this one. Do you think that
I think it's a
she's like
selfish sister.
you think the sister's you think she like the narrator is being 100%
Yeah, it's
or
legally her
nearly
prop.
100% truthful here?
It's legally her property.
Fuck legally.
Like, if she doesn't want her family, like,
You could
hosting
be
parties at her
in
house.
in the words of Ryan Long, you could be legally petting a dead raccoon in the subway.
You're not entitled to do nice things for other people. We just had
I
this conversation.
I agree. I agree. But what I'm thinking, uh, so it like words as written on this page, she's not the asshole. But what I'm sensing here is a little bit of narrator unreliability, where there's like a
Oh,
deeper issue
yeah.
here.
You could tell by the tone of their typing keyboard.
Well, do you not get the same thing? Do you not understand what I mean? Like there are some stories where like you get it and it's like there's details that are a little off.
To me, it's a story that somebody wrote out on Reddit that is just a story. You know, it could be true, and I'm going to take it as though this person is asking, am I the asshole in this situation that I have typed down?
But the issue is people always
Embellish?
mm, they always leave out important details
Like,
like I don't know what the important details could be, but there's something like why does half her family think that she's in the wrong? Are they just entitled assholes too? Do you think?
yeah.
Or do you think that her family might be
Have
picking
you,
up on something we don't?
you have certainly met entire families of entitled assholes. We used to work with some of them.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
I guess.
it
I guess.
runs in the family very often. So I absolutely believe that like half this family is just it's just a bunch of entitled assholes, and the dad doesn't give the shit about the party or where it's held at.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. I don't. I think this person's probably telling the whole truth here.
Maybe it's slightly tweaked a little bit. Maybe
But but
it's
but
a bit
but
different.
but there are some stories where like the details are weird enough where
Yeah,
you're like you're leaving. There's more here, but this one isn't that. This one is
like
like
small
I'm just
details could have been
I'm just
tweaked to change
thrown off
context.
by. I mean, the 16-year-old is like last month chased your dog around and picked him up. Like, but okay, so it's terrorizing the dog is, but she didn't say terrorizing. So I don't. She just
Hmm.
didn't think of that word.
Maybe.
Yeah. Okay. We're going with not the asshole here. That's fair.
Yeah. Like even out take remove even if I think if you remove the dog situation, like I honestly do not think that she's still in the wrong. Like you would have to significantly rework this story
You
for
know
the
what's weird
context to change.
is that the dog, the situation with the dog and the kid, almost makes me think like puts me like more like if the situation was just I've got a house, my family is angry at me because I'm not gonna host my nephew's birthday party here. I'd be like,
Hmm.
obviously not the asshole. But since she's giving an excuse, it
Yeah.
almost like puts me off a little bit.
Yeah. Like what does she have against the son doing now? And
Well,
why did
because
she go to the extreme of
it
saying like he has no boundaries when maybe she was overreacting to him playing with the dog?
yeah. Did he just not on maybe it was like he's maybe he's a little
Like
uh
absolutely. It's his
yeah,
son.
yeah, he was a little too aggressive with a dog that was a little too old, and she freaked out about that. Maybe she's one of those people,
She
but
has
we
a
don't have enough information to say that.
absolutely, yeah. And but
So
I'm still sticking
I-
not
m- I'm picking up that her elephant reaction is, well, by default, of course I would help out a family member by letting them use my big property, but this one's an asshole.
yeah,
So it relies on if the teenager is in her framing of it really relies on if he's really an asshole.
fair enough. Yeah. Okay.
Also, I never trust the people that are like I did all the work. Like sometimes it's true, but a lot of times, did you really?
Okay. Am I the asshole for using my hearing aids to make someone look stupid?
I mean, I want to know how, but I don't. Let me figure out how. Moderate hearing loss in one of my classes. Okay, here it is. I was on the opposite side of the room, and she began yelling at me. She has done this all year, and it was annoying. I didn't look at her. I just kept working in the other school. I wasn't going to give her special treatment because she was lazy. She had no mom. Okay. She kept getting louder and more frustrated. I wasn't going to her. She yelled at me for 10 minutes before she stood up and walked over to me. She was very mad and kept saying that it was stupid that I didn't go to her and that she shouldn't have to stand up. She was very loudly asked, "What are you, deaf?" The entire class watching us, I slowly turned to her before taking out a case that was my hearing aids and I in it
Hmm.
in it and made a show of putting them on and then very loudly asked her what.
I
Okay,
love
obviously
it.
not the asshole. Okay, I was always the kid that wouldn't move in class, group projects. But that's hilarious. This is amazing.
There seems to be a trend on Am I the Asshole of people are just expecting other people to be nice for them.
But it's also the narrator's a bit smug about it, like, and I didn't do the nice thing.
Yeah, nobody's
You
entitled
have
to.
you have to be a bit smug to post on Am I the Asshole?
You do. Yeah. You have to be pretty smug to have a Reddit account in the first place.
I'm pretty smug. I have a Reddit account, so that's like point A.
I have 58 karma, and I'm pretty smug about that.
I'm about 39 on this account.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
less
don't
karma.
even use Reddit, and I have more karma
I
than you.
moderate a subreddit.
Fucking degen.
I know, right? How much karma do I have on my main account? Oh, shit, that's a lot. I have 37,000 karma on my main account.
Oh, my main account is 58. I never
Oh,
use
the
it.
my main account is the subreddit I moderate has 49,000 members. That's pretty cool.
What did you do when the Reddit lockdown situation, when all this subreddits went private?
We didn't because we didn't give a shit.
I see.
Yeah, well, we don't have like moderator meetings. We just I just remove pedophiles.
Fair enough.
Am I the for telling them? Actually, I want to see the comments on this one for using hearing aids to make people look stupid.
Okay, I thought you were
OP,
talking about the miscarriage one. I'm like, can we not do that
no,
one?
oh no. OP, you are a hero. This is glorious. Just desserts. Is that just desserts? Just desserts to have you
Just
dish up. Really?
deserts. No, it's just deserts.
Are you
Like,
sure?
yeah. So it's the word desert has two S's because you want more of it. The word desert has one S in it because you want less of it.
Yeah, but is she's saying just desserts? But
No, no,
I'm thinking that.
no. This is Gloria. It's just deserts.
Yeah, but is she misspelling the word she's trying to spell?
Oh
Because
yeah,
I'm is just dessert.
absolutely,
Just
absolutely.
desserts is a saying.
Yeah,
It
like
means like deserved.
it would take a certified proctologist to misspell the word dessert.
Okay. Hopefully she'll stop now and think before she speaks. Wait, so the teacher lets her scream like that all the time? Yeah, she wasn't screaming. Let's be clear. She was calling across the room.
How did she picture this would go? Come here. Here I am. Can
I'll,
I borrow your nose? Sure. Go fetch them. I will. Thanks for running back and giving me your nose. Lily, this is beyond outrageous.
this is I mean, so clearly she embellished a little bit. She was calling across the room. She wasn't screaming and
That's
obviously
fun.
she thinks she had this epic diss that everyone turned and like it feels it's a very and then everyone clapped moment, right? You know? She's embellishing the story, but I do think it's kind of an epic way to get back at someone.
ChatGTP is built into Opera GX, and I can rephrase like Yoda with ChatGTP when I highlight something.
Really?
Rephrase like make a joke, but I have to sign into ChatGTP, which I don't have an account with.
Oh, I have an account. What do you want to highlight? Am I the asshole telling my mom she can't talk about my miscarriage?
Oh no, but let's not read.
Rephrase like Yoda. Yeah.
Let's skip
Oh,
that one. Yeah, but
all
the
right.
rephrase is Yoda. Am I the
The
asshole
asshole view.
for saying my
I mean,
body is not just a result of having no children? Okay, let's not. Not an asshole. Oh, they're all labeled not a hole, a hole. Am I the asshole
yeah,
for not wanting to give my wealthier sister the lion's share of the inheritance?
she's the asshole. Um, all right, you want to read that?
Sure.
You want to read the ones that say asshole?
Generally, inheritance should be split, determined by what the parents wanted, or by like a fair meter, like 50-50 or whatever, not by who's doing
I'm a
better.
big advocate. I'm a big advocate on firstborn son gets the lion. I I I think there needs to be a lion share because there are societies that force like by law for everything to be split evenly,
Hmm.
and those societies actually have bigger like uh poverty rates because what happens is people like work up to the middle class their entire lives, and then when they die they have no choice on
Hmm.
like which kid will maintain the money better, so it gets split evenly, and then they all
Oh yeah,
it's very it's actually like kind of good for people to have that choice in that way.
I have two brothers, and since I'm the oldest, I have the 34%.
You get the 34.
That's how it is.
Well, if I had three sons, I would go. I mean, assuming. I mean, obviously, if like whichever parent dies first, just the wife, the other parent gets all the money. It's not like we're not dishing things out before the other one dies.
Yeah,
But what if I was like the last surviving one? I had three sons. I would go 50-30-20.
50-30. Damn.
Yeah.
Poor you. That youngest one is a bit. It's unfortunate.
No, no. It's not in necessarily by age. It's more likely by age. But if the oldest one sucks, then you shift down.
Okay. Yesterday, my parents sent me 31 male and my two brothers 32 and 34, and my sister 41 female down to discuss their will. Parents informed us that they want to split it 5 ways. My sister will get 2/5, while the three of us will get 1/5. The reasoning is that my sister sacrificed her childhood for our family, so it's only fair she gets compensated.
Um.
The
Oh.
life of a firstborn.
Okay, but but this makes no sense because on the one hand, like I had this theory about like birth order. Firstborns they grew up with less money, but they grew up having their parents give them like a greater like slice of their attention.
Yeah.
And then the like the further you go down, the parents are older and thus wealthier, but also they have more kids and more like job responsibilities. So it's like you get like the youngest child always gets the most shit, but has the least like attention spent, which is why they're all like do drugs.
In our childhood, my father's business partner screwed him over. So there was a period where we were broke and in debt. Our parents had to work multiple jobs to keep us afloat. My babysitter sat us, or my sister babysat us while our parents worked. All she had to do was feed us and keep an eye on us. We were pretty calm kids, so all we did was play games and do our homework. It probably wasn't thrilling, but not exactly a tremendous hardship. I complained to my parents along with my brothers. This was insane. They wanted to give my sister 2/5 of the inheritance over that. It is kind of ridiculous. Especially
I
since
think that
she's.
I again this is another one. This is another one where the excuse that they give puts me against them.
Hmm.
Like if the parents were like, we're gonna give this to her because it's our choice,
Hmm.
I would be like, of course it's their choice. Like or like she's the oldest. That's actually a pretty legitimate excuse. But she's like, oh, because this thing that happened 40 years ago. That's a little that's a bit much, you know.
Well, it also sounds like she's the smartest. I complained
Yeah,
to
right.
my
She's the
parents
richest.
along with my brothers that it's insane that they want to give my sister 2/5 of the inheritance over that. Especially since she's financially the best of all of us. She doesn't
She's the
have any
oldest.
kids and a dual income with her partner, so she's smart.
Well, she's 41. That probably just means she got married a little late.
My
Um,
parents said they're disappointed in us and said we need to reflect on ourselves. My sister didn't say shit while my parents spoke, but Texas said that she had zero intention of taking 2/5, but we were all assholes. Am I the asshole for feeling like the split is unfair?
yeah, you are. She deserves it. She's the oldest.
You're not entitled to your parents' wealth or what they hand down to you.
Yeah, but again, the excuse almost puts me more on his side.
Mm-hmm.
This is a weird pattern that we're experiencing. Is that the excuse matters just as much as the action. Like the action's fair, but the excuse is kind of shitty.
Yeah.
Money, like even if like she gave up her like total childhood for them, she's like a parentalized kid. Money doesn't really solve that, so you're not doing anything.
This thread
Yeah.
was now locked due to an excess of rule violations. What does that mean?
It probably means a lot of people actually thought she was the. Yeah. Oh, someone pointed this out. Oh my God, he said fucking hell. You're getting 20% instead of 25.
No, 2/5 is 40.
No, that's the sister. The brother was gonna get 25, but instead gets 20.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see. Okay, so they're all chipping in like part of it to get basically. Yeah. Okay. Am I the asshole for leaving my niece's wedding or reception early and taking my gift back?
Depends on why.
Mm,
You want to just get to that?
sure. Um, niece got married last week. Family's blowing up a drama right now because of what me and my wife did. Cool. The wedding was on Saturday. Catholic ceremony at church. 3:30 p.m. The reception area was at a brewery about 15 minutes from the church. Blah 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 blah. Service ended. Whatever. The couple is young and decided against family in the wedding party. Lol. It was four sorority sisters and fraternity brothers on each side. My wife and I drove. We got in the venue with the first family limo arriving around by that time. But no bride and crew. The wedding coordinator was getting pissed by now, and no wedding party. Someone was able to get a hold of the MOH. At this point, apparently, the bride and groom told the limo driver to stop at a liquor store and then drive around on the highway for an hour so the wedding party could get trashed. Around 6, they said
Oh yeah, they're the assholes.
they should be arriving in the next 20 minutes. My wife and I looked at each other and said, "We're out." Fair enough. Yeah, you can. If you're not, again, you're
I
not entitled to be there supporting people at a wedding.
Here's what it is. Um I think you're an asshole if you invite someone to your wedding that isn't an immediate family member.
Mhm.
So uncle's already a bit, you know. But then like you're gonna bring them to a place, and then you're not even gonna show up to the place that you're bringing them. Like that. Come on. Also, don't get trashed on your wedding night.
Yeah.
Imagine that Catholic ceremony, traditional Catholic ceremony, a big, nice, beautiful church with stained glass windows. You walk out, it's sun setting. You get into a limo, and you're like, let's get drunk. It's not even like they drank too much. It's they're going to a liquor store to get trashed.
Yeah.
This was.
Very inconsiderate.
Oh, and then the niece apologized, but then asked for the gift again. That's pretty funny.
That is.
Nobody ever. It's hard to find. Let me look for a. Oh, you can sort. Okay, it's because I forgot you can sort. Where's sort by controversial? I need to find a comment. Controversial.
Oh, comments?
Yeah. I want to find someone with a dissenting opinion. What is ESH?
I have no idea.
They said the wedding party was ridiculous, but gifts. Huh. But gifts aren't meant to be earned. I kind of disagree with that. Gifts can be earned.
Gifts can be revoked.
Is it okay to take back a gift even if they haven't opened it yet? If they have opened it, I don't think.
If you haven't given it to them, you can change your mind.
Do you view putting it on the table at the wedding as giving it to them? They just haven't like looked at it yet. Do you think at what like if they take it in their hand and sit down to open it,
They
but then
weren't
you
even
can you
there. They
but what I'm asking for like the moral, when is the gift given? Like,
when
do
the
you think that?
person when the person has received the gift.
Yeah, but like here's the thing: if it was a gift in the mail and you put it in their mailbox, I would kind of say, or if you put it in like their doorstep, I would kind of view that as like that's receiving it, even if
Nope, I wouldn't.
you would think that they would have to until they physically touch it.
Yeah, when when you have handed the person it, or like you have, the person has come in possession of the gift and knowing intent that it was received by you as a
Oh,
gift. That is when it becomes a gift.
okay, I think that's yeah, that's pretty fair.
like
That
like
that makes sense.
like you can go shopping for a gift. You can pick out that gift and get to the cash register and suddenly realize, wait a second, I don't want to give them this gift. So you can turn around and return it, and you're not an asshole. You get 5 minutes down the road after buying it,
Yeah,
decide not to, and then
but
return it, and
Well,
you're not an asshole.
what I'm saying is that like you own your house even though you're not always like holding your house in your hand, you
Mhm.
know? Like possession like is a bit of an abstract concept, but I agree like
Yeah, like
you have to have initial possession of it first. Like
you're
put
not. Yeah, like
but
you're
the
not.
issue is once you put it on the wedding table, is that kind of them having I don't really know. And I'm probably side with you more like they have to actually be physically.
I would say no, but it absolutely like they weren't even at the wedding yet.
Yeah, that's if they were at the wedding and they saw you put it
Oh
down
yeah,
and
yeah, absolutely. That would look pretty bad if you picked it up at the wedding and they were there, like, saying their vows.
here's one. If they're opening gifts and they say, "Ooh, that one," and then someone else that's not them picks it up to go bring it to them, and then you intercept it, would you consider that to be just like it's still my property, or would you be like that's a bit much?
I think it would be very rude, but I wouldn't say it's wrong because
Okay.
if we, like, again, I would be like very rude, but like you could definitely intercept and be like, hold on, that's actually not a gift.
Yeah.
You know,
Hmm.
like think about it this way. I think another way is like, say like the ice cream truck comes, right? And your kids are acting up, and you have promised that if they've been good, that you will get them ice cream. And the ice cream truck comes by, but they haven't been good. It's not wrong to then revoke the money that you might get your kids ice cream with. But like once you've given them the money and then they've gotten their ice cream, you can't just like, take it back and be like, actually you've been bad, you're not getting it. If that makes sense. Like punishment has to occur before reward has been given. I know that actually
I think that
but yeah, kind of.
I can't help but feel like there's a process in which there's some time before them. Mm, I I just don't know if like the physical touching it is necessarily what conveys it as a
I
gift,
think
rather than
what it is that the table acts almost as a receptive area where, because the person isn't like, they haven't, you're placing it there until you give it to the person, kind of
I've
like
got
underneath a Christmas tree or something like
yes,
that.
that makes sense. But here's one more weird one. They don't open it, but they do take it and they move it from the table and put it like in their car.
Then yes, because they have received the item. They have taken possession of it at that point. Like true, they put it down somewhere. They haven't opened it yet. But a gift is still a gift regardless of if it's been opened or not. It is about the possession or the act of giving it to someone else that makes it a gift. Like, I believe that it retains just an item, a purchased item, until it has been given to someone else.
Okay, I think that I think we've that's fair. I think that's we've probably come to like an understanding here.
And we've lost both of our viewers by ranting about the definition of a gift.
Yeah, we lost our one viewer who was Jab, so you're right.
Oh, well. He obviously
Hi,
didn't
Jab.
agree.
um, you want to switch? You want to? Let's see. What are the next two?
We've hit a, we've hit quite a few.
You want to do one more?
Yeah, if you're down to
Let's
read
sort
one more.
by. Hold on. I want to see if let's sort by. Uh, hot. Does hot mean controversial? I think that's what it means.
I think hot means they're getting the most attention right now.
Oh well, that's lame. Is there no controversial thing for like toast? I guess not. Okay, yeah. Let's do top of no, top of the past week is fine, I guess. Okay, I'm accidentally at top of the last day. You have to read this next one.
Top of the next day.
Oh, there we go. This week. No. We're continuing on. I just accidentally switched it.
Okay.
Okay. Telling my son my fiance is spoiled. That's lame. Saying I would stay at my mom's if I had to share a room with babies.
You would share a room with babies?
So, saying like okay, so I'm guessing so it's divorced parents. You're threatening to go to your mom's house if you have to share a room with your father's new wife's kids. I think probably not the asshole. That's pretty fair. Like babies cry all the time. That's not fair.
Yeah. Am I the asshole for
Not
completely ruining my future?
my future son-in-laws, and not the asshole. Ooh, this is a hot one. So it seems like like this is a good one where the title makes it seem like they're the asshole, but apparently the text really redeems it.
Let's see.
Son-in-law, or is that sister-in-law? Okay, my 28 female life, my 28 female life, and my partner's marriage. Oh, your life and your partner's, or in your, wait, what? My life and my parents' marriage was ruined because of an multi-level marketing scheme, MLM, multi-level marketing. Okay,
A
so
pyramid
pyramid scheme.
scheme.
Yeah.
They fell for a pyramid scheme. If you're dumb enough to fall for a pyramid scheme, you probably deserve to have your life ruined.
Okay. Let's skip down. Fuck the backstory. Let's skip
Mm-hmm.
down. Now to the situation. My brother is marrying his fiance, 29, of 4 years, and he's marrying her in 2 weeks. Last Saturday, I was invited to her bachelorette party. She said she wanted a low-key night at her home, with some food, some alcohol, and some fun games. I get there, and including her, there are 14 other women. 3 of them are my cousins, who are 19 and 18. After I arrive, one of the women stood up and said, "The fun can now begin." Then she dragged a chest full of sex toys and started pitching us her MLM. Ooh. From the get go, she said the SLIL.
Oh,
From the, she
multi-level
said,
marketing.
yeah, so she,
SIL.
pyramid scheme. She said that my sister in law agreed to host, and at the end of the night, depending on how much we got, she would send money to help her honeymoon. Yeah, okay. I was fuming. She knew how much both I and my brother hated MLMs. So I stood up to leave, then I told my cousins to grab their bags and follow me. They tried to stop me, sister-in-law and the MLM hun, but I just told and said we had to leave, but then I couldn't just leave the other woman to be preyed on. So I went on a rant about MLMs, how scummy they are, how I bet after playing them with paying them with alcohol, they could be pleasured into buying stuff they didn't want, as well as joining a pyramid scheme. My sister-in-law was teary by then, screamed at me to just leave, and that I ruined her bachelorette party. So I grabbed my cousin and left. And while I felt a bit bad about ruining her night, I did not feel bad about standing up to a scammer at all. My brother says that while he completely understands where I came from and that he had a really big fight with her, I should have just left with my cousins without ruining the night altogether. Ooh, we've talked about this a lot. About
It was
there's
ruined.
there's a difference between, okay, so she's absolutely right for leaving, but dragging other people into your problems, that's the issue here.
I don't think she was dragging them into a problem. The problem was created when she started the pyramid scheme at her bachelorette party.
The issue is not every MLM is like Tupperware is an MLM, the company Tupperware.
Mhm.
They're no they operate in that system, you know, but they're known as like one of the like best ones just because Tupperware makes most of their money from actually selling Tupperware rather to like customers rather than selling it to their sales associates.
Mhm.
The reason MLMs are so scummy is because in order to sell the products, you have to buy the products yourself.
Mhm.
So it really depends on if this was just like basically a franchise opportunity, like some MLMs like the not scummy, they're all a little scummy, but the not so scummy ones basically operate like franchises for selling products, while some of them operate like pyramid schemes where they make all their money through selling to buyers, right?
There's a difference between like multi-level marketing and a pyramid scheme. To be fair.
Yeah, well, there's a legal difference, but some MLMs really hug that line,
Yeah.
and and they might actually pass a line, and they just have like creative accounting, making it seem like they're not, you know.
Hmm.
Um,
Did you see the
so
episode
but
of Shark Tank where the guy pitched a pyramid scheme to Shark Tank?
that's sort of like you ever seen the episode where Michael pitches a pyramid scheme, and then Jim walks up and draws a triangle around it, and he goes, "I have to make some calls." He legitimately pitched a pyramid scheme. I gotta watch that. That's great. That's kind of baller.
Yeah. That definitely like takes some balls to do.
I do. I yeah. So it's what do you think? On the one hand, I don't like people who make scenes. Like, if if she was like literally planning on murdering the whole party, I would still be like, maybe not. I would still be a little upset that she made a scene. I am not in favor of scene making,
That's fair.
but at the same time, I mean, she couldn't know. Like, not everyone is like. Listen, you got to be pretty stupid to buy into an MLM.
Yes.
I almost feel like she's insulting the women that are at this. A lot of them were probably like, "Let's hear the sales pitch. Let's not do it, and then let's just drink."
You don't know that.
No, I don't know that, but I
Like,
feel like that's how. Oh, maybe a lot of them would have got scammed,
you can't
but
just assume that like I wouldn't want to assume that like oh they know better.
I wouldn't want to assume that they're dumb either. This is like a crowd full of normal people, supposedly.
You really think that the average person is not dumb?
I think the average person is dumb, but I think I think they're dumb in different ways, and I feel like
But
like
most people are ignorant. I wouldn't say most people are not dumb, but most people are ignorant.
yeah, okay, maybe that's it. I feel like if she stood up and she just politely, like, the word is rant. She said she was fuming, but she said she was fuming. She went on a rant. I
I
just
almost think that it's the right thing to do. Like the step or the bachelorette host or person, they knew what they were doing.
yes, yeah. I think I but the Bachelorette. is also being preyed on by the like
Well,
the maid of honor. The
that's
maid of
how
honor is the con
that's
artist.
how pyramid schemes work. Don't feel bad for the people who are in a pyramid scheme trying to scam other people to get out of it. Like shooting someone else because you got shot doesn't to save your life doesn't like make things okay.
Yeah, you're right. You're right about that.
Like bringing someone down because you're in the hell because you're in the shitter. That like she had every right to stand up and fight back. She was looking out for the interest of everyone else at that party, whether or not they knew it. And there's no way that the Bachelorette didn't know that. And if she didn't know it, then good, because she had a rude awakening about what was going on.
Yeah, I just I think maybe she was untactful, but I do think that she's within the she's within the right to inform the party about how scummy this person might be.
Oh, absolutely.
But I think that even if something scummy's happened, like we all know smoking's bad. Smoking kills people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but if someone started smoking and you're within your right to leave the room because you don't want to inhale the secondhand smoke. But are you really within the right to stand up and be like, you should all get the fuck out of here because smoking kills people?
Well, that's a tough line to draw because it's like you could say the same thing about playing Russian roulette
I don't think it's the same as playing
or
Russian roulette.
taking drugs or like if if people were shooting heroin,
But
like
that's
I
actually a
would
really good. But
for,
let's not say heroin. Let's say if there was a bachelor party and somebody started passing out cigars.
I wouldn't complain about that because
Because on the but on the but would you be within your right to first let's say this, let's say you're walking out and you calmly tell everyone, listen, this is bad, this is smoking, I'm gonna leave, I you should probably all being in a room filled with smoke is not healthy for you. Would you think you'd be in your right to do that? You wouldn't be the asshole.
absolutely because
Now if you
the
stood up and you were
hold on
fuming
because
and you
the
were like,
act
my mom died of lung cancer, you should all be you being preyed on.
no because it was not a handing out cigars at a bachelor party is
Let's say
not
they're
a malicious
let's say they're
act.
selling cigars. Let's say they're selling cigars at a bachelor. He goes, I bought these cigars, but you're gonna have to buy them.
I would. mm,
Like, at what point are you responsible for other people's stupid actions?
that's true. You're not. Yeah, because
So
like
I think
regardless
it's
of if it was malicious or not. Yeah, but that doesn't
so
change my thought on if she ruined the night though, because I still don't think that she ruined the night. I still believe that malicious or not, the night was ruined when um she started the scheme.
yeah, I agree. I agree with that. I
But
just think that
sure,
if whether or not she's an asshole depends on how she went about it. Like, if she was just angry and she was just like, listen, this thing destroyed my family. I'm taking my cousins. I'm leaving. You should all do this. Like, if she was like that,
if you were smart, you would do the same. Yes.
it, yeah.
Um,
But if she was like, fuck you, fuck everyone here. This is you piece of shit.
yeah.
I that might it depends on the scene, but I think it's safe to say based on the way she described it, she's not the asshole.
Hmm.
You want to end that? You want to end the stream with that one? That was a pretty good one.
Yeah, that was a good one. And yeah, we can end the stream there. We've been going for a while.
Yeah, sweet. Uh,
Okay.
thanks for watching.
We'll see everyone next time.